they're okay, but like
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what I'd say. Is I'd say that they are okay.
I don't like the jersey color. I don't like the orange on the jersey. It makes us look like a pumpkin or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It looks spooky.
I said before we put them out, I was like, man, I hope the one thing we change is the helmet, and it's the only thing we didn't change.
Oh, that is
Okay,
fun.
so how about this? Class of 21 recruits to watch out for.
I mean, I think we
This
already
one,
know it. No?
yeah.
Like I feel like we already know who is on that list. Obviously, cornerbacks.
Oh yeah.
Cornerback Mason Smith, 5-star defensive tackle out of Louisiana. He put Miami in his top 5. Leonard Taylor's really trying to bring him to Miami. I know that the guy who runs the Forza account, I think my brother was running it that day. He tweeted out the hashtag the Mason Smith did you. I saw that. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh god. But I don't think we get him. I think he's going to go to Bama or LSU.
Yeah.
Uh, Jaden McBurrows is someone that Gabby talked about last Friday. He's a cornerback out of St. Thomas Aquinas, 3-star. He's committed to Michigan, so maybe we can flip him, especially since Michigan is falling apart. So,
Yeah.
you got Jake Garcia. You have a few other cornerbacks. I'm trying to pull it up because I made a list. I'm getting back into my writing routine. So I took a few weeks off, man. It's draining.
Yeah, I think we both did, man. So this is our bounce back podcast. We're shaking off the rust.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you made it down to
Okay.
Miami. You got the new radio show, and I'm
So here are some names to know, at least for cornerback. You got Jaden McBurrows out of St. Thomas Aquinas. You have Markevius Brown from IMG. I think he is going to go to either Auburn or Virginia Tech. I'm not even impressed with him to begin with. You got Demarius McGee. He's a Tennessee commit, and he is in Pensacola, so the Panhandle area. Khalil Anderson, another cornerback committed to Pitt, 3-star, and obviously Marvin Covington out of Texas as well. So, but besides that, Mason Smith, you got our boy Jake Garcia, the golden boy. And we may go after another offensive lineman. I would not be opposed to it, but if we don't finish this class with like 2 cornerbacks, then I'm marching.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I still remember because I was down on vacation in St. George in February of this year. I had talked to our guy Cliff that day about the cornerback situation.
Oh my
And
God.
then I came on the pod that week and I was like, dude, we are in trouble. We need like 3 or 4 corners in this class. And yeah. And then here we are, what is it, 9 months later?
I have a question for you. Would you rather sign 1 or 2 recruits for cornerback, or would you rather wait and see for people in the transfer portal at that position?
It's hard to say. Ideally, you sign a very talented kid that can contribute right away. One with a like a body that's ready to play Division One ball. That was kind of my biggest concern with Tim Burns before he was, not in the class anymore. Was that he was not big enough to play early, in my opinion. Um, Here's my concern though: is we only have 3 cornerbacks with any experience, right? They're all juniors this year. Is that right?
Corey Couch is a redshirt. He might be a sophomore actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, they're all eligible after next year for the draft, including Couch, or just leave, right? My worry is to bring in a grad transfer who we get for 1 year, and then we have 3 or 4 dudes leave from corner,
Yeah.
even 2 or 3. We are so royally screwed if we have 3 corners leave after next season, including a grad transfer. Like, dude, honestly, like me and you they'd have to throw me and you out there.
Gladly.
Right?
You will not have a harder working player than I am.
And that's nothing against Dunson. It's nothing against like the other guys that we have back there. But the thing is, like, you need experience. Like I don't want to. I don't want to go into the 2022 season and be like, okay, Isaiah Dunson, you have taken like 46 snaps in your whole career. You're cornerback 1. Like, go out there and lock down our best dude.
And I don't want to like have to resort to turning Avonte Williams into a full-time cornerback when that's not his best position.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's out of reach at this point. I don't think it can happen. But ideally, I think the best thing that we could have done was sign some high-level corners like Jason Marshall, a kid that can play as a true freshman and get some experience. And you know what I mean? Because he could be a rotation corner next year.
He's good as hell.
Yeah, he is. So
he's
he
going
could
to be playing on Sundays in the future.
Yeah, he could be a rotation player next season, and then say like Blades and Ivy leave. Well, I mean, they'll be seniors, so they will leave, right? So Blades and Ivy leave after that, and even if we get Couch back, at least you're like, okay, well, I still feel decent because we have Dunson who has a little bit of experience, and we have Couch, and we have, Jason Marshall coming back. So, right, do you get what I'm saying? Like, signing 2 kids that were ready to contribute as true freshmen is really what we needed to do.
Can I tell you what is going to fix that?
What?
A new cornerback coach.
Ooh.
It's time. I'm sorry. I love Mike Rump. I love what he did for Miami. That he won a ring and everything. But who are we fooling? Like, who are we kidding anymore?
Yeah.
It's time.
Well, welcome to the club, my friend.
You have converted me.
Yes. We needed more people.
I think people are starting to like, even the big Rump supporters, they're starting to realize that. Yeah. Why? I mean, we're it's not that the cornerbacks are bad, but nothing is changing in recruiting. And we have really talented players that are underachieving. Trajan Bandy shouldn't be resorting to signing with the Bengals practice squad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Reuniting with Al Golden. I don't think he was an Al Golden guy, but yeah.
Oh my God.
Pro Canes, right?
Yeah. Like that shouldn't be. Why are we signing 4 and 5-star safeties and we can't get a soul on corner?
I bring it up every few weeks, but it's just so humorous to me. But what are the odds that we get Scott Patchen back as a grad transfer? He could play one more year.
For his 19th season. He has a family and children. And
come back, Patch. We need you.
Come get your medical degree.
Right? We need you. We need a little more Al Golden on this football team.
Ew. We need a sweaty guy on the sideline wearing a shirt and tie.
Yeah. Hey, he was our sweaty guy, Marsh.
Who do you think you are wearing a shirt and tie in Miami? Like, get out of here.
Yeah, he thought he was Jerry Sloan.
He thought he was Jerry Sloan. R.I.P., man.
Yeah.
Is he dead? Real.
Yeah, he died.
Okay. All right. Are there any more questions?
No, let's just call it. We ranted. We're going to be in big trouble for this, so.
Oh, my last thing I wanted to ask you. Are you a Harry Potter fan? I know we've talked about this, but I finally finished them.
That's awesome. So I like Harry Potter. I have read all of the books. I have seen all of the movies.
We talked about it with Gabby.
Yeah, and I'm not like super into Harry Potter, but I like it. I enjoy me some Harry Potter.
Yeah, finally finished the movie, so I can.
What's the verdict?
Overhyped. I don't think they're as good as people say. I really liked Goblet of Fire. They could have just made the last 2 movies into one. That was stupid. It's just kind of a lot of slow moving parts. Like one of the movies, it was just like basically a love story. I'm like, I don't want this. I want magic.
Yeah.
I want to see Harry on a broom.
I need some wizardry.
Yeah. Like I feel like Voldemort could have played a bigger role in the movies.
Yeah. How did you feel about him not having a nose? A little strange?
Bro, the funniest scene, I think it's in the last one, when Draco walks over to Voldemort's side and Voldemort gives him the most awkward hug I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so here's the real question, though. how drop dead gorgeous is Hermione in the last two movies?
She is so hot. And Ginny is really cute too.
Yeah. Dude, when I saw like Seven Part 1, I was like, talking about magic. I was spellbound. When that movie ended, I was like, that is the greatest movie I've ever seen. And they're like, why? Like, what did you love about it? I was like, I don't know what happened. I've just been staring into Hermione's eyes for about 3 hours, and I do not want to leave this theater.
Yeah.
I was so in love with Emma Watson after that movie.
And it's the accent, man. I love a British accent. I think it's beautiful.
Oh, you're speaking my language, man. If I wasn't a married man, Marsh.
But my last thought on that, it's still nowhere near Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. Never,
Agreed.
Ever, not even close.
Agreed. And I need to give Lord of the Rings another shot. I've seen all of the movies at least once. I've just had a hard time getting into the lore. I think that's actually one of my problems with Harry Potter. Is that like the people that are really into Harry Potter are such nerds and like such dweebs that they're like, oh my gosh. And yeah, it's just like
I know you really like looking deep into the stories like you do with Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
I think you really, really like the history around Lord of the Rings and the lore kind of stuff, because I geek out on that.
Yeah, I'm sure I would. I just for some reason, every time I try to rewatch Fellowship of the Ring, I always fall asleep. And it's not that I don't like it or that it's boring or whatever. It just happens. And so one of these days I just need to figure it out.
We were having such a beautiful episode and happy. I was loving this, and then you just broke my heart, man.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying for whatever reason I fall asleep during the Fellowship of the Ring. So, and it's like every time. Yeah. What's funny is when I was in high school, that happened with Anchorman. Like every single time I ever tried to watch Anchorman 1, I fell asleep. Even in class one time, I watched it on my iPod. Back when iPods were like a big brick in 8th grade. And I literally fell asleep on my binder watching Anchorman on my iPod. So,
wow, that's a hot take, honestly.
Yeah.
I've seen Anchorman like so many times, like it's not even enjoyable to me anymore.
Yeah, well, I haven't ever seen it all the way through, and it's not enjoyable to me either, Marsh.
Well, good episode, man. It was good. It's just good to talk to you again.
It is, man. It is. It feels like, dude, it feels like friends catching up.
Time.
I know, right? It's been.
Okay. What else? I don't think we have anything else. We will be back next week. Yeah. We have no Canes football, but we just like we did in the off season. We are the best off season podcast, I think.
Absolutely.
Humble brag, but
yeah.
you know who we should get on again?
Who?
We need Kaya back on.
Yes. Bradley, if you're listening.
15.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure you guys check out Marsh's show 4th and 20. That's on Onside Radio, correct? With Toast from the Orange Bowl Boys.
Yep, Monday at 6 a.m., bright and early.
Yep. And then, just to plug my own thing going on, Cane Gang Radio on Slam Radio is now a 2-hour show starting not next week because of Thanksgiving, but the following. So, Marsh, big ups, dude. I'm so pumped for you.
Hey, congrats to you, man. What a big week for us.
Yeah.
It felt like the culmination of a lot of things.
Dude, we're going to put out almost 100 episodes this year, man. And to think about how little sports happened to put out 100 episodes almost.
Yeah. And we never had a bad episode. I love it. It just felt good to be back on again. So,
I feel very confident in saying that neither of us have ever spoken a word that was not perfectly true and accurate.
Yeah, right. I mean, we're the best.
Just kidding.
We're the best.
We are.
We're the shit.
Yeah, humble brag.
Humble brag. Okay, we will be back early next week. We're gonna get some good guests for you guys. So until then, stay safe. Social distance. Wear your mask, and we love you guys. And go Canes.
Go Canes.
This has been the Fours Up Podcast. Remember to like and leave a comment to help our podcast grow. Follow me on Twitter at Hurricane